Good morning, CLC. Thank you, Mel, and Jeffrey for that wonderful song. We're so grateful that you all are here and sharing this moment with us. And in this moment, I invite you now to take a nice, deep breath. Allow your body to just relax. And if you feel so inclined, take another nice, deep, cleansing breath. And as you release that breath, release all the stress and tension that you may be holding in your body. Release any doubts or worries that you have going on. Allow that body to just relax and allow your mind to be here now. Universal love enfolds me. Universal wisdom inspires me. Universal spirit enlightens me. Universal power encircles me. I am one, and all is well. As we begin this inner healing process, let me invite you to relax in quiet confidence, opening yourself to the miracle-working higher power. Now symbolize the unity of your thinking and feeling nature by touching your chest with your hand, and let my words act as your own for your own inner healing, acceptance, and receptivity. I acknowledge that there is a power, intelligence, and wisdom greater than my own. I am in the midst of it, and it is in the midst of me, sensitive and responsive to my every thought, word, action, and feeling. I now make this true for myself by saying aloud, I acknowledge. Acknowledging this higher power working through my life, I admit that I am personally responsible for solving my own problems while being guided and assisted by something greater than myself. As I am ready to surrender the conflicts of my ego to the wisdom of this infinite presence, I simply speak these words. I surrender. Knowing that forgiveness is the key to unconditional love and the feeling of heaven, I now unconditionally forgive anyone and everyone who has ever injured me in any way, real or imagined. And I now forgive myself for all of my mistaken judgments and their resulting actions. From my deepest level of understanding, I now say, I forgive. Realizing that I continually experience the effects of my own thinking, I now choose to allow this higher power to recreate me deeply, filling my mind with thoughts that are only positive, constructive, loving, and beautiful. I call upon this divine inflow by stating aloud, I choose. I now center upon that one special idea that I'm willing to accept as real for me in this coming week. In visualizing that idea as already acted upon and brought to pass. In seeing my idea become a fact of my experience, I enjoy the happiness and peace of my thought fulfilled and gratefully speak these words. I accept. Knowing that I have an everlasting place in the midst of the power that sustains all creation, as well as the support of all those around me, I allow myself to relax in the peace of fulfillment and gratitude and say, I release. Now, in my mind's eye, I envision the presence of someone near and dear to me. This can be a friend, a family member, a teacher or mentor, someone who has touched my life in deep and loving ways. Someone who may not be physically present in the room with me this morning. I turn toward that image in my mind's eye and say, I'm grateful for the good in your life. Now I open my eyes, turn to the world around me, and joyfully speak to anyone physically present in the room or virtually on this broadcast, and share in confidence and gratitude in saying, I'm grateful for the good in your life. Good morning again, everyone. Thank you so much for being here and being a part of this service. Thank you for everyone who's joined us online. We're happy that you're here with us as well.
What a beautiful song. I'm never giving up. I'm going to reach high. I'm going to reach for the sky. I wonder if you had a chance to sing, would that be your song? Would that be your lyric? I'm never giving up. I'm going to reach high. I'm going to reach for the sky. And how many of you know the sky, there is no limit? So that means I'm going to continue to reach. And I love the song says, to see who I can be, which is my destiny. To see who I can be, which is my destiny. So the question is, have I stopped becoming the very best that I can be? Have I stopped reaching for the sky? Have I stopped reaching high and perhaps settle? Today, I'm going to share what I'd like to call a few strategies with you, a few suggestions with you. And how many of you are familiar with the game Connect 4? Ever played Connect 4? Okay, good. And they even have an online version today. So if you want to play online, you can get a partner and you can play online. But as you know, the goal of Connect 4 was to have your color and for you to connect 4 pieces and for it to assemble itself. So I'm going to share 4 strategies, 4 suggestions, and they may connect. And they may become a complete experience for you, but each one of them can also be used individually in order to help you perhaps to reach high, to reach for the sky, to help you to never give up, to help you to continue to believe for that which you truly desire. I'm thankful for Jesse for another opportunity to share with you. Jesse has been blessing us over this past month. I know that we have a summer assignment. Y'all familiar with the summer assignment? To basically know ourselves and to know that everybody else knows themselves and that everybody's becoming the best they can be. So I appreciate Jesse giving us a summer assignment. So perhaps this is going to be like a back to life assignment, right? Because we're getting ready for back to school, and perhaps this will be a back to life assignment, back to your best life. Back to your best life, not your average life, not your mediocre life, but your best life. Someone say, my best life.
My best life.
Yeah, because you know, I went to Discount Tire. How many of y'all drive a car? Okay, just making sure, just making sure. I drive a car too. And how many of y'all's car have tires on it? Okay, just want to make sure. You know, we have technology. I mean, we have electric cars driving themselves. There may be something new out there that I don't know about, so I'm just kind of asking just to make sure. So we all drive a car. We all have tires on our car. And how many of y'all are familiar with this tire place called Discount Tire?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, it's Discount Tire. No promotion of discount tire. I wish they were paying me. You can go to NTB if you want to, or you can go to discount. They do fix your flats free, right? So that they can sell you a tire in the event that you need one. But I went to get some tires for my car. Have y'all ever had a flat or a nail in your tire and you had to replace it? Okay, good. Okay, I'm going somewhere with this. I'm getting to our best life, right? So I went to discount, and the attendant came to me and he said, well, let me just kind of share with you what's available to you. Let me share with you what's available to you. He says, we have a tire rating system. He said it like this. He said, we have a good tire. We have a better tire. And we have a best tire. I'm like, wow. Okay, Spirit, well, I hear what you're saying. So we can either have a good life, we can have a better life, or we can have a best life. But guess what? We must choose. We must make a choice, and it's all available to us. But guess what? The tire rating system that categorizes the tires also have an associated cost. So the good tires, they're tires, but they don't cost as much. The better tires have a better price tag. But those best tires, someone say best tires.
Best tires.
Those best tires, they cost more. And based on your budget will determine what tire you can purchase. Based on your belief will determine if you have a good life, a better life, or a best life. Say, I want a best life.
I want a best life.
Oh, you got to say it like you really mean it. Say, I want a best life.
I want a best life.
Okay. I'm convinced. Are you convinced? And the Spanish distiller said this. It's a very powerful quote, and I want you to hear it and reason with it, those of you that are watching online. It says this. It says that the good life is expensive. There's another way to live that doesn't cost as much, but it isn't all that good. The good life is expensive. There's another way to live that doesn't cost as much, but it's not all that good. You know what? It's not so much in money currency, it's in mental currency. It's how we use our mind. Because our outer is a reflection of our inner. So what shows up on the outside is a reflection of how we're using what's on the inside. And if we have, once again, a strong, powerful, best belief, guess what? We can live a strong, powerful, best life. I come to talk to you for a few minutes about how to live your best life. You may say, Arthur, I'm already living my best life. Come on and join me. Come on and join me. Come help me out from the stage, because I'm just giving some strategies. I'm just giving some suggestions, because you may say, well, Arthur, I don't think those are key suggestions. And you may be correct. There could be a litany of ways to live your best life. I just want to drop 4. So that's why I call it Connect 4. So perhaps we can connect the strategies and see if they work for us. Maybe 1, maybe 2, or maybe all 4. But this is the very first strategy that I want to share with us if we're going to live our best life. You still want to live your best life, right? Yes. Okay, good. Oh, thank you. She said yes. And that's how we must respond to life. We must say yes to life. We must say yes to opportunity. And I know this month we've been talking about unwind your mind. That's the theme for Jesse's series this month, unwind your mind. He's probably going to get me this week, because he's probably saying, Arthur, you didn't unwind their mind, you helped them rewind their mind. And he's going to come next week and talk about cosmic consciousness. So he's probably going to have to unwind it again, right? But that's just kind of who I am, right? So the very first thing that we must do if we're going to live our best life is we must be our best selves at all times. If we're going to live our best life, we must be our best selves at all times. Not sometime, but all the time. Because remember, how we use our mental is what shows up in the external. How we use our internal is what dictates what shows up in the external. So if I'm going to have my best life, I'm going to have to be my best Sean every other day. Every other day. Or maybe just on Sunday, on the day of rest, I'll be my best today. But come Monday, I'm going at it. No, if we're going to experience our best life, we have to be our best every day and in every situation. A lady by the name of Genevieve B. she made a very powerful statement in a book called Your Invisible Power. Have y'all heard that book before? Your Invisible Power by Genevieve B. She was the one student of Thomas Troward, quote unquote, the father of mind science. And she makes a very bold statement, perhaps on the first page of the foreword, before she even gets to the introduction. And she says this. And if y'all agree with it, I want you to clap. She says this. She says, in your effort to possess, you will discover the thing you most often need is to consistently be your best self. Thank you. I'm glad. And I didn't say it. Genevieve said, I just wanted y'all to clap if you agree with it. But she said, in your effort to possess, you will discover that the thing you most need is to consistently be your best self. And if you look at perhaps the book that I have, she put be in quotations. You have to be your best self. So in your effort to live your best life, you must consistently say, I must consistently be my best self.
Be my best self.
Yeah, because how can I experience my best life if I'm not being my best self? Just really think about it. It goes against the law. It goes against the law of mind action, right? Because, well, if we wanted to just kind of go Bible, it says this, that God cannot be mocked. For whatever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So if I'm not sowing my best, how can I expect to receive the best? But if I'm willing to be my best, guess what? I will experience my best life. You say, Arthur, okay, so what do you mean be my best? Be the best you that you can be. Be the best you that you can be. Not that your neighbor wants you to be, not that your aunt thinks you should be, but be the very best that you can be. Be able to look in the mirror and see that person and know that you're being true to that person, that you are expressing the highest potential of that person. That's being the best you. And allow that to show up every day and in every way. And then you can say, I'm being my best self. And then you can expect to experience your best life. A lady by the name of Gretchen Rubin. Gretchen Rubin wrote a book a couple of years ago, it was like 10 years ago, and it was called The Happiness Project. You familiar with that book? I know I'm in good company because y'all are students, you're educators, so you understand. So she wrote a book called The Happiness Project. So she was going to take a year to see what it takes to become happy. And each month she was going to focus on a different aspect. Out of this Happiness Project, she created 12 commandments. And guess what the first commandment was? Be Gretchen. That was commandment number one. To her, being happy was to be Gretchen. Because how many of us live our lives trying to be somebody else, trying to please somebody else, and not being ourselves? So she said, if I'm going to be happy, I'm going to have to be Gretchen. Say, I must be me.
Be me.
If I'm going to
Live
my best life.
Live my best life.
Now you got to take time to find out, who are you? Who are you? Beyond the label, beyond the tags, beyond the roles, beyond the responsibilities. Who are you? Because that's the greater essence of you, that which we cannot see. And when we come to connect with that, we come into the full power of who we are, and then we can release the full potential that we possess. Because the power is always flowing. And once we understand who we are in the midst of that power, now our potential can flow. Am I going to be my best every day and in every way? Because that's what's going to lead to my best life. Because my life out here is a reflection of what's going on in here. How many of y'all know a guy by the name of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson? Yeah, y'all know the Rock Johnson. We're not related. My name is Arthur Johnson. We're not related. I sure wish we were. I probably would not be here speaking. I probably still would be. But he posted a post on Instagram, and I say it went viral, but it definitely crossed my timeline. But he was in Hawaii, and he was there on business, and he was working out in the gym early in the morning. And the time came that he had to stop working out in order to attend to business. But he had 45 minutes left on his workout. And he said that it gnawed at him all through the day that he had not finished his workout. So I want to say it's like 7 or 8 o'clock that night, he went back to the gym to finish his workout. And we wonder why he looks the way he looks. It's not by accident. It's because of the commitment that he's made to be the very best that he can be. Because he could have just written it off. Oh, I'll just do it tomorrow. I'll just pick it up later. I'm the Rock Johnson. I'm worth millions. Everybody adores my body. But you know what? He had to look in the mirror at The Rock, at Dwayne Johnson, to be able to answer, did he hold up to his own best commitment? That's what it takes to live a best life. I must be my very best every day in every way. If you agree with that, and you say, you know what, Arthur, I think I like that strategy. I think I'm going to take that one with me. Raise your hand. Thank you. All right. Okay. So that's the very first thing that we must do if we're going to live our best life. We must show up every day as our best self. Not half self, but best self. The second thing that we must do if we're going to live our best life is we must envision our best life experience. We must envision our best life experience. Look, Arthur, what are you talking about, envision? Okay, so when we envision, we basically create a mental picture, a mental image in our mind of a future possibility or a future outcome that we desire. So basically, we've given our subconscious mind a blueprint to work out. Envision is the same thing as visualizing. Because we won't just experience our best life by default. Would y'all agree? That it just doesn't happen by default, but it can happen by design. Not by default, but by design. And how many of you know we can live a designer's life? We can live a designer's life if we're willing to take time and do the work of designing. If we're willing to take time to use our mind to design what we want to experience. But here we go again. That takes mental work. Remember, the good life is expensive. It's expensive in mental currency. It's expensive in how we use our mind. So will I take time to envision what I want my best life experience to be? And I'm not necessarily saying 3, 5, 10 years from now, in which that's good, but just what about tomorrow? What What about tomorrow? What about taking time this evening before I lie my head down to say, okay, what does tomorrow need to look like? What outcomes do I want to experience on tomorrow? And let me use this great gift of God that is within me, which is my mind, which is God's mind, to say, okay, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. Because really tomorrow doesn't exist yet. And if we don't have a plan for it, guess what? We're just going to show up and it's just going to happen. But we want to be more aware than that. Because as Carl Jung said, and Jesse has mentioned on this stage a number of times, until we make the subconscious conscious, it will direct our lives and we will call it fate. Until we make the unconscious conscious, it will direct our lives and we will call it fate. I mean, oh, it just seemed to always happen to me. Okay, wait. Let's push pause. Let's take a step back and understand, why does this keep showing up? What's going on underneath? What are my under thoughts? What are the undercurrents that's causing me to do what I do without even thinking about it? Because once I bring it to the light, I now can create what I want out of it. Hey, it may be dark, but bring it up. Because you know what? There's a power in you that on an occasion looked out into darkness and said, let there be light. And we are made of the same essence and energy. Because it says in this image and likeness. That's the image and likeness that we're made in. Yeah, we can play copycat. I mean, the master teacher said, you know, you're going to do greater things because I've come to show you the way. I've come to show you how to do it. I've come to show you how to use the one thing that separates you from everything, which is your mind. So because if I can envision it, I now, guess what? I must express it. I must now act on it. So I've envisioned. So let's say, I know Jesse gave us the homework assignment, and I'm just going to give us a back to life assignment, right? My assignment is only 7 days. Jesse's assignment was like 60 days, the whole course of the summer. Mine, I'm just going to ask you to do it for a week, right? But, okay, I've decided what I want tomorrow to be. I have an idea of what I want to happen when I wake up tomorrow. So I go to sleep with that. So now the subconscious mind gets to work on that. So now I wake up energized, right? Because now I have some sort of purpose for the day. And I'm going to align myself with that and take the necessary actions. So now I'm expressing my envisioning. So now I'm acting on the vision. I'm giving voice to the vision. And now guess what I can have? A healthy expectation. A healthy expectation, because I've envisioned it, I'm expressing it, so now I can expect it. I'm now working with the law, as the law is designed to be worked with. This whole law of mind and science of mind, we've been blessed that we've come into an experience like this, to embrace a teaching like this, to really understand how life works. And many of us have to do a lot of unlearning and relearning because perhaps we learned something different unless we came up in the teaching. So, if we're going to live our best life, first we must be our best selves. Then we must be willing to envision what our best life experience look like. Once again, 3, 5, 10, let's just try tomorrow. Let's just take it one day at a time. I think that'll be a perfect enough exercise. If we can do it for 1 day, let's do it for 2 days, and 2 days, 3 days, and then we can run it out to 3, 5, and 10. But let's just try 1 day. We're going to start small. But the results are going to be so amazing that you're going to get excited. And you're going to want to do it each and every day because you'll understand, hey, this is how it works. And now, you may not have 10 out of 10 happen the way you wanted to, but 6, 7 out of 10, maybe even 5 out of 10 is better than 0 out of 10 just waking up wondering what happened. Does that make sense? And how many of y'all had a day like that? At the end of the day, you're like, what happened today? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's happened to us all. And for me, it tends to happen when I've not taken time to plan out what I wanted to happen. Because now everybody's pressing issue now becomes my emergency. But because I didn't have anything planned, I had nothing to balance it against. I couldn't say, I'm already occupied. I can't do that right now. I'm already involved right now. So that emergency, that issue became my emergency. Now I got caught up in it. And at the end of the day, I'm feeling depleted and wondering why. I gave away my power, my mental currency. Thirdly, if we're going to live our best life, so not only must you be your best self, not only must you envision the best life experience, and I'm going somewhere with this, you must speak. Somebody say speak. Speak. You must speak the best words at all times. You must speak, Sean. Speak, Sean. You must speak the best words at all times. You must speak the best words at all times. Because how many of you understand the power of the words that come out of our mouths? Powerful. And it's not to be used as some casual mouthpiece. No, we must be intentional and perhaps intense about the words that we use because we understand the power that they have. Solomon said it like this in the book of Proverbs. He says that your words have the power to preserve life or to destroy life. Your words have the power to preserve life or destroy life. You must experience the consequences of the words that come out of your mouth. That's a good news translation of the Bible. I want y'all to say, well, Arthur, I didn't read it like that. King James, life and death is in the power of the tongue, and he that loves it shall eat the fruit thereof. That's what it says in the King James, but I just gave you the good news translation of it. But our words are powerful. Our words are powerful, and we cannot have a best life experience speaking anything less than the best words. No, we cannot speak our condition. We must speak our conviction. So what do we believe about our situation? What do we believe about our circumstance? What do we believe about our predicament? And if we believe, right, that we are the answer, that we are the solution, because we understand that the power of God is flowing to and through us, we speak affirmatively that that is passing away. We speak affirmatively that my good is coming to me, that my good is now, that my health and healing and wholeness is manifesting now. What words are coming out of our mouths? And do they line up with us living a best life experience? And if not, and if we say, I really want to live my best life, I must evaluate what has my speech been like? What have I been saying about me and my circumstances? What have I been saying about me and my experience? What have I been saying about me and my opportunities? Because there could be, I'm not saying it is, but it could be why they have not manifested the way we would want them to manifest. Because we've not been speaking positive, faith-filled words to allow them to grow. So, let's just kind of do an inquiry. Say, self. How has your speech been?
How has your speech been?
I see some of y'all's faces. But when we understand the power of our words and understand how creative they are, we would then start speaking what I call generative language and not destructive language. What's generative language, Arthur? Generative language is language that generates positive outcomes. What's destructive language, Arthur? It's language that destroys, right, the very good that I say I desire. And we have to be mindful. Someone say mindful. We have to be mindful of the conversations that we're having, not only with others, but with ourselves. That inner conversation, that self-talk. Because we wake up with it, we walk around with it, and we go to sleep with it, and eventually we'll act on it. Which is why the words must align with the intention that we have set. Because even if you're not living your best life right now, hopefully when we leave, you say, you know what, Arthur? I'm glad I came today. Life hadn't been a bed of roses, right? It's been some hills to climb. But you know what? I'm going to live my best life from this point forward. Not someday in the future, because someday is not on the calendar. Do y'all have a someday on your calendar? Do you? I'm just checking. I was just trying to see if I have a someday on my watch. No, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. But there is no someday. It's close to Sunday, but it's not someday. It's today. Today, now is really all we have. So you know what you probably want to say? Well, you know what? When I leave out of this building, when I leave off of these grounds, I'm setting my thermostat to best life living. I'm going to be myself. I'm going to be my best self. I'm going to envision the best. I'm going to express the best. I'm going to expect the best. And I'm going to speak the best. Because a good writer said this, and we're going to come to our last connecting point, and hopefully I've made some connections when we're doing Connect 4. It's in a book of the Bible called Joel. It's Joel 3 and 10. And there's some powerful words there. And they perhaps had their backs against the wall. They had been defeated. They seemed to not have anything to work with. And they had been given a command to beat your plowshares into swords and to beat your pruning hooks into spears. That's what they were told to do. And I love that because what the story teaches us is that they had something to work with. Because oftentimes we think we don't have anything to work with. You just got to look at what you really got because you got a lot more than you think you have. So they were told, hey, beat it into this and beat it into that. And then they were given this command to let the weakling say, I am strong. Let the weakling say, I am strong. So what do we learn by that? We don't speak our condition, but we speak our conviction. We speak our conviction. Don't speak your weakness. We already know that. But let the weakness say, I am strong. Affirmations have been around for a long time. I am have been around for a long time. Let the weakness say, I am strong. So in order for you to live your best life, what do you need to say? I am what? I am what? You fill in the blank. I am what? I am strong. I am happy. I am joyful. I am powerful. I am abundant. I am peaceful. I am strong. I am trustworthy. What does your I am need to be to line up with your best life? Something to think about. Remember, I'm just offering suggestions and strategies. Suggestions and strategies. The last thing that we must do if we're going to live our best life, not only must we be our best selves at all times, in all situations, and all ways, not only must we envision our best life experience and then express actions in alignment with that, and then have a healthy expectation because we understand that if we sow good, we can reap good. And the great writer says it like this, don't grow. We must think best thoughts at all times. So not only must we speak the best words, we must think the best thoughts at all times. Why would you say that, author? Reason being, and it's found right there in Proverbs, and even James Allen wrote a book by the title, which was so powerful, but as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So as we think, so we express. As we think, so we express. I think Ralph Waldo Emerson said it like this, a man is what he thinks about all day long. Say, I am. What I think about all day long. I know it's tight. I know it's like putting on a tight pair of shoes. But when we come to understand it's the truth, we can get some new shoes. We can get some new tires. Yeah, we can get off of those good tires. They were good for a short season, but they tend to wear out quickly, right? So don't be fooled to think that we can get value or that we can get a premium quality for a cheaper price. You cannot find your dream at a discount store. I understand the whole philosophy of saving, but if you want to, okay, what did the Spanish distillers say? That the good life is expensive. There's another way to live that doesn't cost as much, Jeffrey, but it's not all that good. So we get to choose what type of life we want to live, what type of tires we want to have. And you know what the tires represent? The tires simply represent our thoughts. The tires simply represent our thoughts because without tires, the car can't go anywhere. Without thoughts, the consciousness cannot go anywhere. Talk, Arthur. Without the right thoughts, our consciousness cannot go anywhere. Shakespeare called one of his characters to say, my words go up, but my thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts cannot to heaven go. So we must think best life thoughts. How is my thinking? How is my thinking? And as Zig Ziglar would say, are we guilty of stinking thinking? Yeah, are we guilty of stinking thinking? He said, well, I really don't know. Okay, just look around. Because normally when you throw out trash, it begins to smell. Right. Yeah. So if the life is not as rosary as we would want it to be, it's not as perfumery as we would want it to be, maybe our thinking hasn't been as sweet as it needs to be. Maybe our thinking hasn't been as sound as it needs to be, because as it says, as a man thinketh, so is he. So we must think best thoughts at all times, because everything is created twice, first mentally and then physically. You say, well, Arthur, I really don't agree with that, Arthur. I said, well, yeah, you say, well, I got kind of a whole lot of stuff showing up in my life, but it's because you haven't been thinking. That's why just a whole lot of stuff been showing up. But if you think purposely and intentionally, you stand a chance of experiencing what you have purposely and intentionally thought. Do you agree? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. In my last story before I go, of this young lady who thought best thoughts in the midst of perhaps an unfortunate situation. The storyteller says it like this, that she had been dealing with a condition for 12 years. She was physically, mentally, and emotionally perhaps depleted, because she had been dealing with this illness, this blood issue, for 12 years and had not gotten the better. As the story goes, she had gone from doctor to doctor to doctor. So imagine being in Houston. You went to Kingwood, you went to the Woodlands, you went to Humble, you went to Spring, you went to Tomball, you went to Pearland, you went to Katy, you went to Baytown. You were almost in Louisiana looking for an answer to your situation, and you were paying for every visit. So not only did you have to pay for the visit, you had to pay for gas to get there. And just imagine the gas prices, what they are now, and you're just kind of out of money, right? So you would think that you would probably begin to speak your situation, that you would begin to speak your condition, but not this lady, because she knew how to think best thoughts. And she knew that she could think best thoughts. She has a chance of experiencing those thoughts. So 12 years running, out of money, but not out of hope. And she heard that this master healer was coming by, right? And she said to herself, she thought to herself, and that's a whole nother lesson I probably need to teach on, that our words follow our thoughts. And if you want to know how you're thinking, just listen to your conversation. If you ever want to know how you're thinking, just listen to your conversation, because words are simply thoughts dressed up for human consumption. I don't ever know what you're thinking until you open your mouth. But once you open your mouth, it removes all doubt. Yes, words are simply thoughts dressed up for human consumption. So she thought to herself, hey, he's coming by. If I can just touch the hem of his garment, if I could just make contact with the power will heal me, right? The power will take care of me. That power will connect with the power that's inside of me, and I'll be made whole. And guess what? It happened just like she thought. And it was so powerful because he was not even concerned about her. He was going to take care of somebody else's business because somebody else had brought him a problem. And basically, she stopped his situation for him to see about her situation. So she presses through the crowd. Why? Because she had some good thoughts. She had some good tires rolling. So she went through the snow. She went through the storm. She went through the ridicule. She went through people talking about her. She went through people hating on her. And she pushed through the crowd, and she touched the hem of his garment just as she thought. And he said, something left out of him. Something left out of him. And he says, who touched me? And his posse, you got to be careful who you have around you. His people around him said, who do you think touched you out of all of these people? He said, no, somebody touched me. Somebody with faith touched me. Not with fear, but with faith. Somebody drew something out of me into them. So she was found out. So as the story is told, she comes up and she tells the whole story. And I think she went all the way back to the very beginning, year number 1, from the initial diagnosis. And he said this, daughter, go. Your faith has healed you. He didn't even do it. He didn't even heal her. It was her faith that healed her. It was her belief that healed her. And sometimes we're waiting on God and God is waiting on us. He says, I've already placed it in you. I've already given you everything that you need in order to become all that you're capable of becoming. But I just need you to be all you can be. These words were asked of George Bernard Shaw on his deathbed. George, if you could come back and be someone else, be someone prolific, someone powerful, someone noteworthy, George, who would you be? Without blinking an eye, George Bernard Shaw said, I would come back as the person that I never became. In order to live your best life, you must be your best, which is the B. You must envision the best, which is the E. You must speak the best, which is the S. And you must think the best, which is the T. Will you live your best life? What you are is God's gift to you. What you make of yourself and what you do with this life is your gift back to God. Let us all bow and let us know together there's one power, there's one presence, everywhere present, radiating and resonating through us now, helping us to collect ourselves, to collect our shortcomings, to collect our failures, to collect our misgivings, and to be willing to start anew, to start afresh, knowing that this is the day. Now is the time to be the best, to envision the best, to speak the best, to think the best, and to be the best. We know that the power that beats our very heart is a loving power. And it's a power that we can tap into to create, to design, and have a best life experience. And there's nothing that can stop us. All doubt diminishes right now. All fear fades away right now. Strength stands up. Power prevails in this moment. And we leave with a renewed awakening to the greatness that's inside of us. And we choose best life living. We choose to be our best. No more with being average. No more with being mediocre. No more with being fearful. No more with being doubtful. But we allow the power and the presence of God to flow to and through us uninhibited, flowing freely and forming a best life experience that it may experience it through us. And for this, we are grateful. I release these words into the law, calling them done, and knowing they will not return unto me void, but they will be filled and full of my heart's desire. And I go forth with an expectation, looking for the manifestation of that which I believed in my heart. Amen? And so it is.
So it is.
Oh, you did? You gave me a mic. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And so now we come to giving time. Before we start giving time, and as our ushers make their way to the back, I want to ask, is there anyone here for the first time today? Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for being here. If you are here for the first time online, please let us know by leaving a message in chat, or you can give us a message in Facebook Messenger or email us at info@creativelife.org. We love to hear from everyone and support everyone. And with that, I want to thank each and every one of you for your support of this center. It is because of what you give to us that we can be here and give back to you. So thank you for giving us your love, your energy, your monetary donations, your time, and we hope that you have found this as rewarding of an experience as we have. And with that, I invite you now to say with me, divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all the good I am and have, all the good I give and receive. I am prosperous now, and so it is.
Why do you think I'm here? If you're watching this online, you're missing a lot. I was going to say, Reverend Arthur, thank you very much for that great talk today. I think he deserves another great round of applause. You are one of the few people who can take a tired theme and make something out of it and discount it. I couldn't resist that. And all of you out there, if you were looking at your phones like I was, I hope that you were doing what I was doing, which was taking notes. Seriously. Maybe you were just surfing the net. I don't know. The reason I'm here today is because Reverend Lisa had eye surgery, and she's seeing double right now. She didn't want to give you a double dose of the benediction. On a serious note, we have two practitioners serving you today. One will be Marissa, and she'll be in the children's room back there. And the other one, I think, is Ann Richardson, who is online. So the bookstore will be open. If I'm not there, Monica, you can be there, correct? Okay, that's good. And the reason I was wearing a mask today is because I had a scratchy throat, and I decided to be careful. I did take a COVID test, and it came back negative, but I wanted to be careful. Anyway, you could say that I'm doing this closing from scratch. So on a more serious note, you know, my job is to send you out today with the best intentions, the best theme. And Reverend Arthur really told us the whole crux of what it is to be in Science of Mind, and that is to live our best lives. So with that in mind, and knowing that there is just one life, and that life flows through everything, it flows through everyone, it flows through each and every one of us here, everyone online, flows through the whole universe. And knowing this, I really claim, I know, I feel that for every person here in this room, every person online, I claim that they go away from here today knowing that their best life is available to them all the time. And that the way they think, the way they feel, the way they act, and the way they love brings about their best life. And as each person here brings about their best life, I know for sure that it brings about the best life for everyone that they come in contact with. And that the truth of this is that we will create a world that works for everyone when we start to live our best lives now. So I claim this is truth. I am grateful for each and every one here. I'm grateful for everyone online. I'm grateful for Reverend Arthur, our musicians. I'm grateful for all of our staff here, our ministers, our practitioners. And I release my word with real, true gratitude into the law. I call it done, and so it is.
So it is.
This moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Say it with me now. Something wonderful
Something wonderful
is happening through me.
is happening through me.
I feel it in my body.
I feel it in my body.
I feel it in my mind.
I feel it in my mind.
I feel it in everything I am.
I feel it in everything I am.
I choose it.
I choose it.
I trust it.
I trust it.
I use it.
I use it.
And I love it.
And I love it.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Go forth and live the best life.